Bonjour mes amis, et bienvenue au Pendu dans le Cercle de Lune. Hello friends. If this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you for coming. I'm pleased to meet you. If you've been here before, thank you for returning. I'm truly honored. Friends, if you are a returning visitor, you know from my attempt at a French introduction that this is my series in which I use Terre de Marseille adjacent, or antique Italian decks to help me explore a topic that I receive from the spread I read earlier in the week. I do 2 spread videos a week. The first one is based either in a Smith-Waite deck or a Thoth deck, which is what I'm doing these days, or I've also done the Continental Tarot. So I do a larger spread, usually a larger spread. These days, not so much. I've restrained myself to a smaller spread for my earlier videos. So I take that topic, and to get clarification, to get a deeper reading perhaps, to get another layer of understanding, I do a spread with Terre de Marseille. So this is my way of keeping myself fresh, and also for us to dive deeper or dive wider. We'll see. Before watching this video, I always highly recommend that you go watch the first video so that you understand why I'm reading these cards in the way that I'm reading them. Yeah, because this spread is in response to that one. So, for example, if you want to read if you want to read the second book in the series before and skip the first one, it's up to you. But I always like to start with the first book in a series and then look at the second one, right? So the first book, we already did that video. And just in case you have not seen that one, I will put a link so you can hop on over and watch that video and then come back to this one. And you don't have to watch these videos in one sitting. If it's too long for you, watch it in chunks. That's perfectly fine. There's no tarot police coming out. There's no YouTube police that is going to come out to stop you from doing what you want to do. So, just in case you have watched the previous video, but it's been a while, or you watched it in bits and you want to get a little bit of a refresher, the previous video's title was Too Much of a Good Thing. Yeah, it was pointing us towards the potential that we could be overindulging in anything from food to work, to exercise, to creativity, to anything which could be driving us in the direction of causing self-inflicted oppression. And we got some good advice with the Prince of Cups card, yes, in that spread. And the Oracle cards below, I think, gave us some interesting information as well. So that spread was all about not keeping focused, enjoy what we're doing, not overshooting our desires, overshooting our plans, overshooting what we hope to accomplish, and doing reality checks, checking in. Am I still on track? Why did I start this in the first place? What's it all about, Alfie? Am I open to the power of intention, and am I flowing with that energy so that I can accomplish what I want to accomplish in a much more natural, flexible, easy way? Am I willing to course correct? That was part of this previous spread. So all of those things were wonderful. And so I asked the question every week, what is the central message of this week's 3-card spread? And I've got the spread for this one all laid out. What am I going to do? I will show you the spread. We'll talk about the cards that are there briefly, and then we'll break it into its 2 major bits, and we'll read those 2 major bits together. Are you all ready for this adventure? Here we go. We have 2 wonderful decks here. And if you were if you have been following along with me, you will recognize these two decks. I used them last week as well. And I just had to bring out the same Tarot deck, the same Tarot de Marseille deck, because it's new and I love it, and I think it's fun and pretty, and I like the bling on it, so here you go. It's the deck by Zara at Kitten Chops. Zara at Kitten Chops. It's called the Pipsqueak Tarot. And I'll put a link in the description box below so you can go look at it and maybe even order it for yourself. It's a lovely deck. I gushed about it last week and I'm gushing about it again. The cardstock is wonderful. The artwork is wonderful. It's easy to shuffle. It's just a dream deck. And it's got fun, playful images. So if you want fun, playful, some might say Tarot de Marseille adjacent images, this is right there for you. The Oracle deck below is not as easy to shuffle, but I think it pairs very nicely with the Pipsqueak Tarot. It's called the Poise Oracle. It's a very intuitively based oracle. There's no guidebook that comes with it. All you get is a picture and a keyword, and you got to run with that. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to look at the keywords together and run with it. Now, if you're interested in this deck, there will be a link in the description box below. Now, if you like rose petal, this is a wonderful rose petal oracle deck. The size is not huge. It's pretty standard US. Why am I putting it in air quotes? US games tarot size for this deck. So even though it's an oracle, it's a tarot size. So it's great. It shuffles okay. I mean, it's rose petal. It does stick a little bit. I haven't used it all much. It might shuffle better over time, but I love it. I'm very happy with it. I'm happy to pull it out whenever I can. So those are the decks. Links below. Friends, we're ready to read the cards. First, I will show you the 3 tarot cards again, and we'll read them together. Here they are. The 3 cards we got from left to right were the 3 of Wands, the 2 of Coins, and the Queen of Coins. So there's a lot of earth in this spread, which is not surprising because while the previous spread this week was very fiery, we had Leo, we had Aries, we had Mars in Pisces, but Mars is a fiery planet, as well as we had Sagittarius, right? So we had Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries in the earlier spread for this week. Still, the advice card was very strongly placed in Earth. And so, perhaps this spread is flowing from that. Yeah? So, you also noticed, perhaps, that the Queen of Coins was looking to the left. So that's the direction I'm going to read this spread. I read with line of sight. And the Queen of Coins was looking at the 2 of Coins, which makes sense. And then the next card is the 3 of Wands. That's the direction we're going to be moving in. So we'll start off with the Queen. I got them in the wrong order. Let's start off with the Queen of Coins. Coins, right? And let me move this card a little bit so that you can maybe see the flash of the gold foil on this card. It's a lovely card. Yeah, you see the gold background, but there's actual gold foil on here. In the hearts on her. Actually, I think that's not her cape. I think that is the chair that she's sitting on, but maybe it's the inside of her cape. There are also little stars on her wand. There's a star on her wand. There's a little star on her crown. There are little stars around the coin that she's holding. It's all very glitzy, glamoury, gold foil loveliness. So, lovely card. I love this deck. Oh, just in case, the backs, if you want to see the backs, this is what the backs look like. So who is the Queen of Coins for me? Well, she is practicality. She enjoys her creature comforts. She enjoys the stuff around her. She enjoys the food she eats. She enjoys maybe if she drinks wine, the wine she drinks. She enjoys the money she has to support her creature comforts. But she's practical. She doesn't overindulge, which was a potential from the earlier spread this week, right? Too much of a good thing. She's not the too much of a good thing queen. She's practical. She's able to make do always with what she has, and she's usually got plenty to make do with. But even if she is a little bit in a time of scarcity, she can make do with what she has. She has both material and personal stability. Her character is stable. As stable as her resources. She's sober. She's realistic. She has a realistic vision of where she's going and what she wants to do. She's pragmatic. Now, she doesn't fly off in fantasy. She's not boxed in. She's not limited by, she hasn't placed herself in a prison of a castle and will not venture out, but she doesn't fly off in fits of fancy, right? She uses her energy to maintain, but also to innovate. She does the new stuff, but she maintains and does the new. Yeah, she has the courage to move outside of her comfort zone, but she doesn't dash off into the void. And she's also able to look at herself. Now, she's able to look at herself and in the face and see who she really is and what she really wants and what she's capable of this time, knowing that she's also able to evolve, right? Because evolution is life. Stagnation is death. She knows she evolves, but she also knows who she is right here, right now, and what she is capable of, and where and how she wants to evolve. She's able to look at all of that stuff. And you see in this lovely card that she's holding her coin up in front of her face. So the next card, being the Two of Coins, makes absolute sense. This is where she's placing her attention. She's placing her attention on this Two of Coins, which could be things like taking a rest, replenishing the body, watching our health. Those are possible. It could be saving money. But I think for us, it's more of this idea of an embryonic plan. Now, we've got the plan to do something new. We haven't done it yet. It's not the ace, but it's not the 3 yet, right? The ace's cell of a new plan, of a new opportunity, has divided into 2, but it's still embryonic. It's not a zygote anymore. It's an embryo, but it's not ready to live in the world yet. So we have that, an embryonic plan for the new work. It could also be collaborating, but not necessarily up close and personal collaboration with some space between us. Which is interesting because we had the idea in the previous spread for this week of having our being able to ask for help. Yeah, so that could be this as well. We might be able to collaborate with somebody or some people, but not up close and personal, not pasting our bodies together, but from a distance. And it doesn't have to be from across the world or across town or even in a different building, but still not up in each other's faces, right? Oh, there's some distance here. But this embryonic plan, the development of this plan is not a straight road, it's a winding road. So our advancement, our progression is not necessarily going to be a straight shot. It could be a little bit windy with circumbendibus, you might say. Now that's what she's got her mind on. She's got her mind on, I think, the development of a plan, maybe calling a little bit of help, and recognizing that the development of this plan, the development of this work is not necessarily going to be a straight line. And so we move in the direction of the Three of Wands. And, did I do that for you? Don't think I did that for you. Did I show you the bling on the Two of Coins? It's there. Do you see it? And let's move on to the Three of Wands, which is the next step on our journey, right? The Three of Wands. And let me give you a little bit of a shimmer and shake here. The wands in this deck remind me of the wands on my Korean Teodomase deck. Now these wands here are very, very similar to the wands in that deck, which is interesting. I don't think it means anything particular, it's just something that strikes me when I see the wands in this deck. So what is the Three of Wands? Lovely card, lovely artwork. Yeah, it's acting impulsively. Now that could be a positive thing or a negative thing. Do you understand that? Acting on our impulses, when we have the impulse, I have the impulse to do this, and I do that, is sometimes a good thing. Now, acting impulsively without rational thought and completely impulsively can lead us into trouble. But acting on impulse, if we are in a place of being open to the power of intention, is actually following our flow of intention. So that action of impulse, acting on impulses, can be a very beneficial thing. Living spontaneously, being willing to do the new thing, do things differently, as the Queen of Coins will do them. Innovating, while maintaining what we have. Releasing self from any bondage, looking ourselves in the faces and releasing self from the bondage to be able to be spontaneous and do the new thing, maintaining what we've got. Allowing for some freedom for ourselves. Because we've got a burst of vital energy here, right? The threes, they're the first burst of something new into physical manifestation, into the new realm that we are entering. We have vigor here, but we might lack a goal. So that's where the Queen of Coins is helpful for us, right? We've already have the goal with her. Now this is the energy that will help us move through the windy path of the Two of Coins. Now we have a spontaneous, creative vigor. But we want to remember that we want to maintain our goal. Even if it's not a straight shot, we want to maintain and it's not really a goal, it's the direction we want to move in, the next experience, the milestone. Now we have an exuberance to get started, which we've actually are on the verge of starting with the Two of Coins. So now we've got the exuberance to start doing the work. And that's a good thing. And following our impulses. And releasing ourselves from constrictions in the past, but not running away from what we already have. We maintain what we've got, and we're free. That might be, I might have stumbled on a near title for this video. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe not, but we'll see. So those are the three cards from the Tarot. Lovely cards, lovely deck. Highly recommend the deck. Now let me show you the three cards from the Oracle deck. Let's see how they interact with the three cards above. Here they are. Interesting cards, aren't they? Now I think I'm ready. I'm going to be doing this in a way that I'm not used to doing it, and I'm afraid I'm going to have problems holding the cards for us, but let's see how this goes. You saw from left to right. The Oracle cards were choice, fear, and noise. They don't look very positive, do they? Well, maybe the choice card looks fine, but followed by fear and noise, not so much. But because I read the cards above from right to left, I think I'm going to read, well, no, I know. I'm going to read these oracle cards from right to left as well, and I'm going to read each one also in relationship to the tarot card above, if that makes sense. So, the first card we've got would be then noise, right? So this is the noise card, and it looks like, what it looks like to me is some modern art from the late 1960s, early 1970s. I don't know if you see that, if you see what I see. But it reminds me of that kind of late post-jazz beatnik age, early late 1960s, early 1970s art to me. My mom had a piece by an artist who did also some stuff that looked a little bit like this. Anyways, so that's what I get from this noise card. And what is noise? Why is this noise? Well, I think there are two possible aspects to this noise. There's the inner noise and there's external noise. Now, the external noise could be distractions, things taking drawing our attention away from the work we want to do as the Queen of Coins. Right? The Queen of Coins is able to is sober, realistic, has a realistic vision, is practical and pragmatic, but circumstances could be distracting. Right? And there could be some jealousy involved here as well. Now, letting talk, not necessarily from us, but people around us could be jealous of who we are and what we're being, and their talk, or the talk of people who are overprotective, could be distracting us from and preventing us from doing what we want to do. Now, the jealous people, the voices around us that say, oh, you can't do that, you're not good enough to do that. Yeah, that's not something you're capable of. Or the people who are overprotected, who actually love us, but are, oh, don't be careful. If you do that, you could run into a problem, something could happen, right? Those kinds of things are also noise from the outside. And that noise can influence us and be a problem and be problematic for us as queens of coins. And remember, we're all queens, right? It doesn't matter what body we inhabit, whether we're in a male body, a female body, an intersex body, a trans body, a cis body, whatever. We are all kings, we're all queens, we're all knights, we're all valets or pages. Yes? So, our inner queen of coins can be distracted by this noise. And sometimes that noise is actually trying to be of benefit for us, but it's not for now. The inner noise can also be inner. The noise can also be inner noise. Our egoic talk. Remember, she looks at herself in the face, but sometimes as she looks at herself in the face, the ego monkey mind comes up and starts chattering at her, distracting her from her goal, maybe putting fear in her way. Because what? The next card is fear. Right? So, I think these are things to be careful of. As our Queen of Coins being, we want to be careful of this, both the external and internal noise, that stuff which distracts us from fulfilling our potential as the Queen of Coins. And then the next card, which I already brought up for us, is fear, right? Here it is, the fear card. And here we see a hand clutching a bunch of skulls. And skulls, what are those? What do those represent? Well, it could represent death, but they also represent our thoughts. The things that are contained in our heads, not the the mind of our eternal natures, which are here having this physical human experience, but rather the actual things, processes that are going inside of this brain thing that we have inside of our skulls. That could be part of this fear card, because it's fear. And so we're grasping onto our worries, our anxieties. Now, you see this hand clutching and these skulls in there. So we're clutching at those thoughts, clutching at those anxieties, not able to let them go. And letting them go what would that do for us? It would open us up and allow us to have fuller access to the power of intention to move us in the direction that we want to move. And we're clutching onto even the past and dead experiences, and we just can't let go, which is a problem to the Two of Coins card, which was above it, right? Where we have this embryonic plan. We see that this road is not a direct path, perhaps, and we start worrying. We're grasping to our previous experiences when we want to let go of those. We want to maintain what we have as the Queen of Coins, but we want to be open and able to release, because that's the next card, right? So this fear that comes from the noise could potentially prevent us from moving into our Three of Wands. Does that make sense? Now, this winding path could be another addition to our fear. Well, that's such a long, I can't see the end of it. It's not a straight line. What am I going to do about myself, about it? How can I keep going? I don't know. Those fears. And then the next card is interesting. The next card is choice. And just notice this here, just briefly. Yeah, you see the two roads branching off, right? You see the wands branching off. Now there's even a third choice here in the middle. Yeah, there's a middle path in this card. There's no middle path in this card. So the choice card is asking us, which path are we going to choose? Are we going to choose the path of fear, or are we going to choose the path of the new, the thing that we don't really know? Because remember, I could have drawn a card here, which should have, now that I think about it, I very well might have benefited from drawing a card right here, but I did not. And so we don't know what this choice would be. But one of the choices is the choice of fear, which is perhaps caused by the noise. The other choice would be the choice of the Three of Wands, perhaps, which is following our impulses, living spontaneously, letting go. Yeah? Feeling freedom from the fear. Feeling spontaneous and creative. Feeling a revitalization of our own vigor, because I've just lost my cards. Okay, because we've opened this hand of fear, we've released our clutch on our thoughts and our worries and all of that stuff. And so we're more open to the power of intention, which gives us more energy, but we're also open to our own internal vigor by releasing the fears, the anxieties, by rediscovering our exuberance to keep moving, to keep doing. But always maintaining, always maintaining our characteristics and the blessings and benefits of our inner Queen of Coins. Right? Enjoying what we have, feeling secure, being practical, being pragmatic, making do with what we've got, being able to look ourselves in the faces and see who we are, and being able to take the new step, to do the new thing, to innovate while maintaining that which we already have. All wonderful things. And we can do that. We can do that. We have the potential. As long as we don't, as the earlier video this week said, try to do too much of a good thing. Does that make sense to you? If it does, let me know in the comments below. If it does not, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And friends, speaking of hearing from you, let me know if you want a reading. I can give you a reading about anything you want, almost. There are a couple things I won't give you a reading about where to invest your money. I won't give you a reading about that will try to diagnose an illness for you. But generally, I will read about mostly anything about you. And if you want one of those readings, Tarot de Marseille, RWS, a Smith-Waite deck, maybe even a Thoth deck, maybe a Continental Tarot, your choice, or just tell me to pick one, send me an email. My email address is The Hanged Man in the Moon. It's in the description box below. Or let me know in the comments. Say I want a reading, we'll find a way to meet up on a more private platform. Okay? So friends, there's that. Thank you. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up button, and thank you for subscribing. It helps get this channel in front of the faces of people who are perhaps looking for the channel. So you do them a great service. And friends, now, as always, I wish you love, joy, well-being, and pure awareness. Thank you.